Dear Vice Prime Ministers, Li Keqiang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to represent the European Commission at the opening of today's high-level conference. The partnership on urbanization that we are launching in the relationship between China and the EU, and a key innovative development aimed to provide solutions to one of the most relevant challenges faced by China, urbanization. China is becoming a urban country, with urbanization levels approaching those in Europe. The 50% urbanization landmark recently surpassed in China is just an intermediate reference. We can envisage 70% or even higher urbanization rates for China in the foreseeable future. Urbanization will require sophisticated services and innovative solutions. Investing in urbanization and in the related activities with such value and high growth potential are testimony of forward-looking political vision. But it has to be implemented in an all-inclusive approach to be successful in economic and social terms. China's urbanization poses unprecedented challenges because of the sheer size of the country and its impressive growth rate. Each year, 15 million people migrate to cities, and this is a flow the size of London every year. City dwellers and migrants are the blood of China's economic development. They need to be supported in their search for economic and social opportunities. But the challenge of providing support is enormous. The need for urban infrastructures and local public services is huge. And the need for informed ideas and responsible political visions in and for the cities is even greater. How can we contribute? Europe is the only urban continent. 3/4 of Europeans live in cities. Our history and our society are built upon and around the cities. For instance, Germany and Italy are the result of federations of cities or small states. The United Kingdom or France grew exponentially from their respective capital cities. I would even say that one of our major challenges is to recover economic activity through reinvigorating our cities. We know that growth depends upon innovation, and our own cities require to be modernized to a state-of-the-art technology and organization. Therefore, the European Union has a strong interest in working hand in hand with China in developing our urbanization partnership. We face an evident win-win situation. Chinese cities that are well planned and properly managed, with a long-term vision, contribute to the country's and the world's stability. They reduce the waste of natural resources, create new jobs and business opportunities, and favor peer-to-peer dialogues, as the one proposed with the EU-China Mayors Forum, which we will organize together already next autumn. Europeans can also learn a lot from the Chinese experience. We understand the sheer complexity of the urbanization issue. It involves stakeholders at all levels, national, regional, and local. It is by nature a cross-sector activity. China and the EU parties at the Urbanization Partnership will need to coordinate a high number of departments and stakeholders, from environment to housing, from planning to energy or to water. We have the positive experience of the Covenant of Majors, a commitment by cities, originally restricted to energy efficiency, that now is referred to for water, waste, urban mobility, even active aging. We know that such a broad cooperation succeeds when there is support at the top level and very attractive and relevant contents, as it is the case with the Urbanization Partnership. We share the Chinese government's vision of conceiving this partnership as an open platform with a mandate to deliver results. It is an open platform because all relevant stakeholders, public and private, national, regional or local, are invited to contribute. The Chinese proposal of holding an annual forum with many sectoral events looks to us very appropriate. All those contributing to the partnership should also deliver results. I hope that Vice Premier Li would agree with me that we want the partnership delivering in better local infrastructure and equipment, more harmonious social partners, and more business opportunities in our cities. In order to achieve that, let me conclude by inviting the audience to joint efforts with the Chinese government and with the EU within this exciting new challenge, the Urbanization Partnership. I really think that this partnership can become a most genuine milestone in the positive cooperation between our governments and our peoples. Thank you very much for your attention.
I'm now pleased to give the floor to Stefan Nielsen, President of the European Economic and Social Committee.
Dear Vice Prime Minister Li, dear Commissioner, dear distinguished all honorable participants. On behalf of the European Economic and Social Committee, I really welcome the establishment of the EU-China Partnership on Sustainable Urbanisation and share its objectives. With our Chinese counterparts, we are ready to be involved in this initiative, and in particular in the annual flagship event of the partnership, the EU-China Urban Forum. We have in place for many years now the EU-China Roundtable. Within this framework, which began 10 years ago and which was confirmed in the EU-China Summit 2004, and the European Economic and Social Committee meets regularly with the Chinese Economic and Social Council. Just a few weeks ago, we had our roundtable in Hangzhou, and the declaration adopted by the end of the discussion focused on sustainable urban development. Together with our Chinese colleagues, we agreed that sustainable development must be human-based, comprehensive, coordinated, and balanced. Models of sustainable urban development should coexist to preserve the environment, support social integration, and involve specific measures for the development of sound transport systems, energy efficiency, broad access to green technology, and a recycling economy. Whatever the model, civil society needs to be regularly involved and informed in the urban planning and implementation. The involvement of civil society is a key to promote and uphold the accountability of the various parties involved. The creation of councils for sustainable development at national and local levels could be the instrument in this context. The regional implementation of Article 10 of the Information and Consultation of the 92 Rio Declaration, or the Aarhus Convention in the European context, could also be instrumental. I would like to stress here the importance of the sustainable development in rural areas. Why? Because also the rural areas feed the urban areas. It is about also one part of the human rights, the food security. We believe it's important to exploit the rural areas properly by protecting the environment, ensuring proper working conditions, and making key public service available to rural populations. Last but not least, I would like to mention our work for the Rio +20 summit this summer. We believe that the Rio conference must send a clear signal to the world community with specific proposals for the transition to an economy based on quality economic growth. Sustainable urbanization should and would be part of the Rio +20 agreement. Let's face the challenges and go for change. Together, we can rebuild a more sustainable world. Thank you very much.
And it's now my pleasure to give the floor to Mercedes Bresso, President of the Committee of the Regions. And finally, on the European side, it's my pleasure to introduce Günther Oettinger, European Commissioner for Energy.
Dear Vice Prime Minister Li Keqiang, dear Vice President Almunia, Excellencies, Presidents, Mayors, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to take part in this prestigious gathering between China and Europe on the theme of urbanization, and I would like to congratulate Vice Premier Li for this initiative. Less than 2 years ago, I had a chance to pay an official visit to the Shanghai Expo and to discuss with our Chinese colleagues how the sustainable production and use of energy can effectively contribute to achieving better cities and better life. Since then, we have witnessed intense work and fruitful interaction between our officials and experts in the Chinese and European administrations on these issues. Today, we are launching a long-standing and mutually beneficial partnership between the EU and China on sustainable urbanization, with the signature this afternoon of a protocol agreement by President Barroso and Vice Premier Li. And I'm honored to take the role of coordinator on the European side, and I do look forward to a fruitful cooperation with the National Reform and Development Commission in the successful implementation of this wide scope and ambitious partnership. The Urbanization Partnership will provide an open platform for EU and Chinese decision makers and stakeholders to share experiences and develop joint solutions to address the economic, social and environmental challenges brought by the unprecedented rising rates of urbanization. Energy is a central factor in urban policies. Just think of the impact of intelligent energy design of buildings and urban mobility policies, the relation between the rational use of energy and air quality, or the role of distributed energy and energy efficiency. All are vectors of economic activity and are intensive in terms of local jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now turn to what the EU can bring to this urbanization partnership with China. Almost 70% of our EU population lives in urban areas, consuming a large share of energy in the EU. Our experience in building sustainable energy concepts with cities dates back to 2007 with the creation of the Covenant of Mayors. It entails an ambitious commitment by more than 3,800 cities in 47 European countries to reduce their CO2 emissions of at least 20% by the year 2020. All this wealth of experience is being made available for the success of the EU-China Urbanization Partnership. I am also confident of the potential of the EU-China Mayors Forum. Peer-to-peer cooperation and exchange of experience and best practice amongst the principal decision makers, the mayors, constitute the most effective tools for achieving quick policy implementation and avoiding errors. I'm therefore very pleased by the wide participation of Chinese and European mayors at today's gathering. Europe is also going through an exciting process of reinventing the ways in which citizens move, use and produce energy and handle information in their daily lives. The concept of smart cities should be central to our EU-China cooperation on urbanization. We need to encourage the most willing and capable cities to test new technologies and innovative solutions, not only to tackle their present problems, but also to put themselves in a strong, competitive position to become more and more attractive for investors and professionals. Some smart cities and communities also mean new business opportunities. We have been working in close cooperation with industry to develop those new solutions in ways that can also be useful for China and the EU. Ladies and gentlemen, the path of urbanization has been fast and sustained in China. It represents a challenge not only for China, but also for the world. It also means opportunities for healthy growth and business. It is in the interest of the European Union to support China in its endeavor to have cities that are cleaner and offer higher quality of life. This model will, no doubt, contribute to a balanced socio-economic development in China and to a more rational use of energy and other natural resources with obvious impacts at global level. I wish you all a very successful conference and look forward to hearing about the first achievements under this new partnership. Thank you.
尊敬的李克强副总理，尊敬的阿尔莫尼亚副主席、布莱索主席、尼尔森主
President
席、
Brussels, President Nielsen,
很
Commissioner
高兴
Oettinger,
与某位先
it is a
生
great
共同
pleasure
主
for me
持
to
中
co-chair
欧城镇化伙伴关
this
系
high-level
高
conference
峰会。
together with Director General
在李克
Lowy,
强副总理的亲自倡议，
championed by the Vice Premier
在欧
and
盟
pushed
领导人的高度
by
重
his
视，
personal commitment and with the great support of Chinese and European
中欧
leaders,
城镇化伙
the
伴关系
high-level
高层
conference
会
on
议
China-EU
如期召
urbanization
开。
partnership is now taking place as
中
scheduled.
欧战略合作将开启
It shows
新的
that
进程，
our strategic cooperation in this area is
新的篇章。
entering into a new stage
借此机会，
and turning a new
请允许
chapter.
我
I wish to take
向
this
关
opportunity
心支持
to express
参与这次会议的
our appreciation to all those leaders and people, the mayors, experts,
以
business
及
leaders,
所有的工作人员
and
表
all
示
the staff
诚挚
who
的谢
have
意。
been dedicated to bringing this conference about and bringing this partnership about.
中华人民共和国
Now, may I
国务院
have the
副总
honor
理
of inviting
李克强先
Vice
生
Premier Li
发表
Keqiang
主
of
旨
the
演
State
讲。
Council of the People's Republic of China to address the audience.
Vice President Almunia of the European Commission, President Nielsen, Ms. President Bresso, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it gives me great pleasure
中欧
to attend
城镇化
the high-level conference on China-EU urbanization partnership.
欧洲是世界上
Europe
最早
is the
开展工业革命和实现
is the leader
现代化的
in the world
区域。
to carry out
我此访欧洲
industrialization and modernization.
从
My current trip to Europe
号称多瑙河明珠的
has taken me to Budapest, known as the Pearl of the Danube, to Brussels, the capital of Europe,
欧盟首都之域的布鲁塞尔，深切地感受到了欧洲
I
城市所
have
具有
been
的
greatly impressed
民众无谱的
by
传统
European cities which have
和展现着
both rich
多元
historical
时
heritage
尚的风
and
貌，
diverse and modern appeal.
是最大的
China
推进城镇化的现代化国家。
is the
中欧
biggest developing country
城镇化
moving forward
领域的
with
合作
urbanization. Our cooperation in this respect
刚才我
will
听了
be
几
very
位
encouraging.
欧
I
洲
have just
朋友
listened
的发
to
言
the remarks
也饱受
given by my
启发。
European friends
相信
and I was greatly
此次会议
impressed.
将有
I
利
am
于
confident that our
中欧合作，
conference
并且
will be
将标志着中欧
very conducive to China-Europe cooperation
伙伴
as well
进
as
程
our partnership on
开始了
urbanization.
新的历史阶段，
It marks a new historic stage
是
in our
人类
work
文明的
in
推
this
进。
aspect.
从一定意义
Cities
上
are the crystallization of human civilization, and to some extent, modernization is
今天
industrialization
全球
and urbanization.
城市居民
Right now,
已经达到36亿人左
the
右。发达
global
国家
urban
大
population
约
has
80%
reached
的人
3.6 billion, and 80% of the people of developed countries
在
live in
新兴
cities.
经济体和发展中国家，
Meanwhile,
每个月深
in
圳
emerging economies
数
and
百万
developing
城
countries,
市居民成为世界
Over
城市化浪潮的
over
主体。
millions of people join the urban population every
全
month.
球城市体系
And in the age of economic globalization, cities around the world have brought countries closer than ever before, and urbanization is changing our world and our way of life in significant ways.
17世纪发
In
生
the
工业
17th
革命以来
century, since the Industrial Revolution,
可以说走在了
industrialization
全
and
球前面
urbanization of Europe led the world.
独具特色，注
European
重城市的
urbanization
空间合理布局，重视公共服务和人居环境，崇尚保护
focused
自然和历史风貌，
saving space in cities, providing good public services, and creating a livable environment, as well as preserving natural rural landscape and developing multifunctional urban system. In recent years, Europe has endeavored to blaze a new trail in building smart, green, and low-carbon modern cities. China, a country with a nation civilization, also has a proud history of urban development. The famous painting Riverside scene during Qingming Festival vividly captures the life of Kaifeng, a dynamic commercial city in China in the 12th century. In modern China, urban development picked up pace through cultural interactions with the West, and our urban population has increased from 170 million to 690 million since reform of opening up. A number of city clusters with international influence have emerged, including Yangtze River Delta Cluster, the Pearl River Delta Cluster, and Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei Cluster. We are keenly aware that urbanization has tremendous and profound impact on economic, society, and culture, science and technology, and people's well-being. We will pursue development in a scientific way, accelerate shift of the growth model, and take urbanization as an important strategy for promoting economic and social development and modernization. China's urbanization aims to expand domestic demand and promote development, and every percentage point increase in the urbanization rate means more than 13 million rural population will move into urban areas, and it will create huge demand for consumption of food, clothing, housing, cars, urban public services, and infrastructure. China's urbanization rate has just exceeded 50% last year, but it will still take a long time for China to catch up with developed countries. This is the everlasting internal driving force for China's economic development. China faces the basic national conditions of a huge population, limited natural resources, and land. We must conserve our natural resources and develop our large and medium-sized cities hand in hand. China's urbanization is agricultural modernization and industrialization. China has a huge population. Even when China's urbanization reaches a high level, several hundred of millions of Chinese will still live in the countryside. Resolving issues related to agricultural, rural areas, and farmers will remain a major challenge for China. It is therefore necessary for us to promote parallel progress in agricultural modernization and balanced urban and rural development as we deepen industrialization and industrialization. We have in place a system for exercising strict farmland protection, and we rely on our own resources to increase supplies of major agricultural products. Food security in China is guaranteed. China's urbanization is people-oriented and aims to deliver equitable benefits to all. Our aim is to enable more people to enjoy modern and civilized way of life and promote social harmony and progress. China is pursuing urbanization in an innovative way to develop harmonious and livable modern cities so that cities can provide equitable public services to people and promote rural migrant populations' integration into cities and promote public services such as employment, education, medical care, and health and social security. We also give priority to building government-subsidized housing. Ladies and
gentlemen, China-EU cooperation in urbanization has a long history covering trade, investment, technology, and many other fields. And almost all major companies from the European countries have invested in Chinese cities, and many EU companies have participated in making urban development strategies, plans and designs, and in infrastructure operations in China. A number of landmark buildings in China, including the National Center for the Performing Arts and the National Stadium, showcase encourages such cooperation. China and the EU are in different stages of urbanization, and each can benefit from the cooperation with the other. Urbanization is a priority goal of China's 12th five-year plan, and it has the greatest potential for driving domestic demand. Energy and resources are the most serious constraints to China's development. We need to learn from Europe's advanced technologies and managerial expertise to advance urbanization in an orderly way and remove such constraints. And we need to work with Europe to improve our products, upgrade our industries, etc. And Europe also needs to use its advantages in urbanization to overcome the current difficulties, to expand their market presence in China, where their technologies are applicable and have a huge market. China's manufacturing and the EU's expertise are combined. Amazing things may happen. We hope that the EU will exercise more flexibility in exporting high technology to China and more open. Therefore, we can benefit from each other's strength and achieve win-win cooperation. Going forward, we will take the urbanization partnership as a new platform, share expertise and experience in new technologies, and inject new impetus to China-EU cooperation in the next decade and beyond. With this in mind, I propose the following. First, jointly promote sustainable development. This is a new way for cities to tackle challenges and win the future. Currently, less than 25% of the buildings in China's urban areas are energy efficient, and the per unit energy consumption of China's heavy chemical industry is 10 to 15% higher than the advanced international level. And this provides us with a new space for urbanization in China. In the next 5 years, China is to invest over 5 trillion RMB yuan in environmental protection, and there is a huge potential to be tapped in energy conservation. We're ready to pursue cooperation in R&D with the EU in jointly build green and low-carbon cities and enhance cooperation in new and renewable energies, waste disposal, and environmental protection industries and circular economy. Second, deepen project cooperation. China is experiencing fast urbanization, and many European countries need to carry out urban renewal. The pipes, the waste and sewage treatment, and the infrastructures such as road network are to be upgraded. In terms of service industry, the landscape of city are all the areas where we can further work together. We should explore the possibilities of working together in these areas, lower the threshold, and upgrade our cooperation. Third, strengthen exchanges in management. The EU has gained rich experience in pursuing urbanization strategies, conducting urban planning, delivering urban public services, and ensuring social security, while China is implementing a strategy to build national functional zones. We are working to improve urban layout, build cities with distinctive features, enhance urban functions, and ensure sustainable land development. We're willing to step up exchanges with the EU in terms of development guidance, strategy planning, management policies to achieve sound urbanization. Our cooperation covers a lot of ground and can take a variety of forms. We're ready to carry out cooperation with the EU, its agencies, member states, and European cities. There are now 461 pairs of sister cities between our two sides, and today representatives from over 30 Chinese and European cities and business leaders from China and the EU are present at this conference. There's a broad prospects for us to work together. I hope that our cities will expand exchanges, and I encourage active participation by businesses, public groups, and individuals to strengthen the foundation for promoting friendly cooperation between Chinese and European cities and carry out substantive cooperation both in the economic field and in people-to-people exchanges. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe has an important space in the world. With a strong economy and advanced technologies, it plays a key role in promoting global development. The harmonious development of the world needs a united, prosperous, and strong Europe, and such a Europe serves the need of world development and is the aspiration of the Chinese people. China and the EU. China-EU relationship is one of the most important partnerships in the world. As the global economy goes through realignment and changes, China and the EU have become increasingly interdependent on each other. We'll continue to support Europe in its effort to maintain the stability of the euro and achieve economic recovery. We're ready to explore ways for effective cooperation and make contribution to resolving the European debt problems. Yesterday, China and Belgium signed a number of cooperation agreements. This afternoon, I will sign the joint declaration on the China-EU partnership on urbanization with President Barroso and witness the signing of China-EU joint declaration on energy security. We're committed to working with the EU to promote the continued growth of our relations and lift them to a higher level. Cities not just carry history, they create the future. Better city, better life. It represents the ardent hope of people both in China and around the world for the future of cities. Let us join hands to turn this hope into reality. Thank you.